Have you ever been truly alone in your own home? I mean, so quiet you can hear the house settle, the hum of the fridge, the tick of a clock you forgot you even owned. That was my life. Quiet, predictable, and safe. At least it was until the night the whispering started. It was a Tuesday. I remember that because it was trash day. Nothing special. I just finished a late dinner and was winding down, scrolling through my phone on the couch. The city outside was a distant murmur. Inside, it was just me and the familiar sounds of my apartment. Then I heard it. A faint, almost inaudible murmur. I paused my video, listening. It sounded like a hushed conversation, but I couldn't make out any words. It was like hearing a TV on low in the next room. I got up and checked the hallway. My neighbors were an elderly couple who were usually in bed by 9. It was almost 11. Their door was shut. No lights underneath. I pressed my ear against the shared wall. Nothing. Just the solid, silent thud of drywall. I shrugged it off. Maybe it was the pipes or the wind. Old buildings make weird noises, right? I went back to the couch, but the silence felt different now. It felt ... watched. The next night, it happened again. This time it was clearer. Not words exactly, but the cadence of speech. A soft, sibilant hissing, like secrets being shared just on the edge of hearing. It was coming from the wall behind my bed. I froze, my heart thumping against my ribs. I tried to rationalize it. It had to be the neighbors. Maybe they got a new TV or were having quiet late-night arguments. But the sound wasn't muffled like it was coming through the wall. It felt like it was coming from asterisk inside asterisk the wall. I spent the rest of the night on the couch, leaving the lights on. Sleep was a luxury I couldn't afford. Every creak of the floorboards, every gust of wind against the window sounded like the start of that whisper. I was exhausted, on edge, and starting to feel like I was losing my mind. By the third night, I was a wreck. I'd been tired and jumpy at work all day. I decided I had to face it. That evening I didn't turn on the TV or any music. I just sat in the quiet, waiting. As the clock ticked past 10, it began. A soft, breathy whisper, weaving in and out of the silence. This time I didn't run. I stood up, walked slowly to my bedroom, and stood before the wall. "Hello?" I said, my voice trembling. The whispering stopped, instantly. The sudden silence was somehow more terrifying. I stood there for what felt like an eternity, my ear pressed against the cool plaster. Nothing. Did I imagine it? Was the stress of work finally getting to me? Then, a single, crystal-clear word breathed right against my ear from the wall. "Listen." I stumbled back, my breath catching in my throat. It wasn't my imagination. It was real. The voice was low, raspy, and ancient. It wasn't aggressive, but it was filled with a deep, chilling sadness. My mind raced, pests, a hidden microphone, a prank. None of it made sense. The sound was too organic, too ... present. Over the next week, the whispers became my new normal. They never spoke in full sentences, just fragments. So cold, one night. "Let me out." Another. It was a chorus of faint, overlapping voices, all murmuring from within the walls of my apartment. Not just the bedroom anymore, the kitchen, the living room, even the bathroom. It was like the entire apartment was breathing with these spectral voices. I started investigating. I pulled up the building's history online. It was built in the 1920s, a classic pre-war building. I dug deeper, searching through old city archives and newspaper databases. For days, I found nothing. Just property records, old advertisements for the brand new luxury apartments. I was about to give up, convinced I was just going crazy. Then I found it. A small, digitized article from a local paper in 1928. The headline read, "Tenement Fire Claims Family of 5. I clicked, my hands shaking. The article detailed a horrific fire that had swept through the building before it was even fully completed. A construction foreman, his wife, and their 3 young children had been living in an unfinished unit, my unit to save money. They were trapped. The article was brief, the details sparse, but the address was unmistakable. Suddenly, the whispers made a terrible kind of sense. So cold wasn't about the temperature. It was the chilling touch of death. "Let me out" wasn't a demand. It was a desperate plea from a century ago, still echoing in the place where they were lost. I wasn't scared anymore. I was heartbroken. These weren't monsters in my walls. They were ghosts of a family, a story forgotten by time. That night, when the whispers began, I didn't hide. I sat on the floor, leaned my back against the wall, and I spoke to them. "I hear you," I said softly. "My name is Alex. I'm sorry you're cold. I'm sorry you were trapped." The whispering changed. The frantic, desperate edge softened. It became calmer, more like a sigh. I told them about my day. I told them about the world outside. I read a children's book out loud, the same one my mom used to read to me. I don't know why. It just felt like the right thing to do. For the first time in weeks, the apartment didn't feel haunted. It felt occupied, full of a quiet, shared sorrow. The whispers didn't vanish overnight. They slowly faded, like a song ending. Some nights I'd still hear a faint murmur, a soft sigh from the walls. But it wasn't frightening, it was a reminder. A reminder that every wall has a story, and sometimes, if you listen close enough, you can hear it. I eventually moved out of that apartment, but I never forgot them. I left a small bouquet of flowers in the empty living room on my last day, a quiet acknowledgement of the family that shared their story with me. It taught me that there are things in this world we can't explain. Not all of them are meant to harm us. Some are just stories waiting for someone to finally listen. Thanks for watching. If you have a story that defies explanation, share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more strange tales. See you next time.